My name is Lawrence Stroll, and I'm the executive chairman. We have a strong car, and I believe with my vision, with my business sense, and with my wallet, I will be able to create one of the best Formula One teams in the world.
Days after Verstappen's disastrous outing in Australia, the top brass at Red Bull held a meeting in Dubai. The choice of the Middle East country was not a mere coincidence. Red Bull has plans to move its global headquarters to Dubai. In attendance at the meeting was the protagonist Christian Horner, Max Verstappen's agent, Helmut Marko, Oliver Mintzlaff, and billionaire heir Mark Mateschitz were in attendance. And then there is the big dog Chalerm Uvidia, the man with the controlling stake at Red Bull. But what did these men discuss? Initial rumors said that Horner's position is now weakened, as the Thai owners withdrew their support. But feelers from Germany have said that this is not the case at all. Horner has not only been backed to remain as CEO of Red Bull Racing, but also to become one of the 3 CEOs of the beverage division. This new information implies he will stay, but the repercussions will be far beyond Red Bull. Max Verstappen, who has refused to publicly support Horner, could be on his way out. Horner has even dared him to leave. If Max were to move, this would send a seismic wave through the whole paddock, as his departure would trigger a host of driver movements. But this is not just about Max. Motorsport just reported that Lawrence Stroll agreed to pay Adrien Newey an astronomical amount of money so huge that it is on par with Verstappen's salary. We could be in for a wild ride. Hit the subscribe button to support the channel. Welcome to Front Lockout. Mercedes and Aston Martin duel for Verstappen's signature. With Horner set to grab more power within the organization, giving him more leeway on how to run both Red Bull and AlphaTauri, he can indeed push the Dutchman away. This could be akin to, if he is not with me, he is against me. Christian's argument is simple. Stick to the driving and don't interfere in managerial issues. Verstappen must also recognize that Red Bull had given him everything and Horner can take it all away. The boss has set his sights on Alex Albon to lead the project. Albon is the perfect candidate as the Thai driver will appeal to the Thai majority shareholders. Verstappen potential availability have now put both Mercedes and Aston Martin on high alert. Mercedes would have been a no-brainer, but their shambolic car is now tilting the scale in Aston Martin's favor. Aston Martin has other things going for them that made them look like the best option for Max. Firstly, Honda has ditched Red Bull for Aston Martin for 2026. Verstappen will more likely pitch his tent with a power unit that has gotten him all those good fortunes. But the bigger news is not just about Max. Aston Martin is prepared to raid Red Bull for Adrien Newey. Motorsport reported that the billionaire has met with Newey, and they offered him an amount that matches what the top drivers are earning. Considering what the top drivers earn, this figure looks likely to be around $50 million. Lawrence has also promised to expedite construction and give him a brand new factory. If Lawrence can get Verstappen's and Newey's managers in a meeting, both men could be off to Aston Martin next year. Although Newey had always had his eyes on Ferrari, but Maranello is too far from Milton Keynes. The Ferrari factory is a 2-hour flight from Red Bull, but Aston Martin's Silverstone location is a mere 30-minute drive from Milton Keynes. Throughout his career spanning 1988 till date, Newey has never worked outside the UK. Being closer to home would be important to him, especially at his advanced age. In a hypothetical situation where Verstappen moves to Aston Martin, how will it affect the broader driver market? The obvious casualty will be Fernando Alonso. The Spaniard will have to look for space elsewhere because there is no way the billionaire will sack his own son. Alonso has been touted to make the switch to Mercedes, but his recent driving that caused George Russell to flip wouldn't look nice on his CV in the eyes of Mercedes. But he could be up for a job with Red Bull. His outlaw character suits the team well, and Sergio Perez might have to make way. This is because Horner plans to bring back Albon to please the Thai owners. Another candidate is Carlos Sainz. Horner has openly expressed that he would consider the Spaniard. But Sainz was once at Red Bull and that marriage didn't work out. We have a feeling they might skip on him. If Alonso goes to Red Bull, it means Mercedes could have to look inwards. The obvious choice would be 17-year-old Kimi Antonelli, the Italian who races for Prima together with Ferrari's sensational kid, Oliver Bearman, will test drive F1 cars later in the year. While we were all impressed by Bearman's drive in Bahrain, Antonelli has roundly beaten him in the same machinery in Formula 2. 17-year-old Verstappen was first offered to Wolff, but he turned it down, and he is not about to make the same mistake with 17-year-old Kimi Antonelli. Reports have emerged that Sauber, which will become Audi, has given Sainz an April ultimatum to make up his mind. But given that Sainz's father won the Dakar Rally with Audi, he might use his influence to extend that ultimatum indefinitely. The German company is also interested in bringing in Nico Hülkenberg. If Hulk moves, then Ferrari would ensure that Oliver Bearman takes his seat. The Brit drove for Haas in practice under Gunther Steiner. Interesting times lie ahead in the driver's market, but all will be dependent on Max making that first move. We will continue to monitor this space for you. This is Front Lockout, signing off.